Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR Heat 5 career mode. I hope you're all having a great day. Today we go racing on one of my favorite tracks on the NASCAR Heat 5 game here of Dover. Very excited to see where we stack up here with this RCR number 27 Chevrolet Camaro as you see some of the updated point standings here in the lower series with trucks and Xfinity and whatnot. And we have a brand new paint scheme here today made by one of our community members of Sanok here. And here you see it. It is a Flow Racing paint scheme. I actually am partnered with Flow Racing. You can use the link in the description if you sign up for a subscription with Flow Racing, and if you use my link you can help support me. But Sanok with a beautiful livery. Honestly, this might be my favorite one yet here, made by someone. It's got a beautiful shade of red and it's just such a nice livery. Shout out to Sanok there, as it looks so good, as we would hopefully be able to put up a performance respectable compared to, of course, how good this car looks. But it starts with a good qualifying effort, and well, we did not get that. We come through to qualify in the 19th position, so it actually is a little bit on the better side of what we've done so far this season, but still obviously way off of what I would like to do here. As you can see, the rest of the qualifying order on the screen now is all the way up at the front is Kyle Busch, who's been so strong this season here, as he's going to lead the way in Dover as well. You see Josh Bilicki all the way at the bottom of the grid there with Rick Rare Racing. So some work to do for some drivers though. You see Eric Jones actually looking very fast today, so maybe watch out for him in that number 43, but Anthony Alfredo in that number 38 failed technical inspection, so he'll be starting at the back now as Kyle Busch, Joey Logano get ready to take this front row to the green flag of this Dryden 400 as we look to take this Flow Racing machine into a top 10 result here. Now it's been very hit or miss so far this season with getting top 10s. The green flag is out. We are underway. Richard Childress Racing with myself, Austin Dillon, and Tyler Reddick get ready to head to battle here in Dover as we dive down into 1 and 2 on this opening lap here. Up at the very front, Brad Keselowski actually up there in the mix in that Worth machine as well. Just in front of us, you got that 47 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Alex Bowman there just behind with Chase Briscoe, one of the drivers we're battling for in the whole battle with the Rookie of the Year situation right now as we exit the corner already, though making a little bit, very little bit of a gain here up into P17, so we gained 2 spots on this opening lap of stage 1. 29 laps here in stage 1, so we got a good chunk of time here in this first stage. I think the same length or so as a Bristol stage is actually here, and obviously it takes a few extra seconds, quite a few, nearly 10 more seconds actually, to get around this track compared to Bristol. So we come through though, clipping that apron out of turns 4. That's going to be a big thing today. You got to run the car around the inside, but you can't get a little bit too close to that apron because that'll happen right there, and unfortunately we paid the price for it. We lost a spot to Austin Dillon, and then I realized I was struggling. Alex Bowen would pass me and it would get worse. I actually hit the wall on the exit of turn 2 on lap 5. The car really quickly was just, I was finding out it was not driving good. I didn't know what was going on. It felt really slippery right here, a little bit loose here on the middle of the corner, and then on the exit it would really try to push out towards that wall, and I was having to, of course, try and find a way to manage that the best I could, but it was certainly not a simple task here. Now, as you can see myself battling with Ricky Stenhouse Jr., there it is again though, on the exit of turn 2, the car just pushes wide into the outside wall to go again, and down into 21st place we go. Now, fortunately, as the run was going on, it was kind of the usual here. Usually the longer the run goes on, the better we get, and that was once again the case here in Dover. We were struggling so hard on the short run, probably one of the worst short runs we've had all season long, but now that the longer run was starting to kick in, we started to make some headway, and if it stays green, there will be green flag pit stops happening here in this first and opening stage, so I was already getting ready just in case here for that. Now, as we continue making our way forwards now up the inside of that 17 of Chris Buescher, clipping that apron on the exit of turn 4, but we slide up in front of him, so up into 19th place we go over that fast and all machine. You can see Christopher Bell was on the move there just behind us. He was closing in on the back of the 17 and closing in on the back of myself very quick as Ryan Blaney was currently leading the way. We run down Matt DiBenedetto here on lap 23 of 29 in this first and opening stage up the inside of that number 21, and we're going to pass him. So up into 18th place we go, clipping that apron again though on the exit of turn 4. We slide up. There's a little bit of a switchback move right there from DiBenedetto. Goes back through, takes a position, but we would actually get ready to pit. You see the field light come on. So at the end of the lap 24, pretty much everybody's coming to the pit except for a select few drivers like Kyle Busch, who stayed out, Christopher Bell, the 17 of Chris Buescher as well. Thankfully, no caution for once comes out during the pit cycle here, so we would actually get into the pits, put the 4 tires on, put the fuel in the car, fix up the little bit of damage that we picked up there, clipping that outside wall a couple times, and now here we come through to just a few laps to go already after everything had cycled through. Ryan Blaney was back in the lead, but look at the track map. We are not far at all from going a lap down. That tells you how awful we have been, and actually a lot of the cars have been here on this first and opening stage, because Ryan Blaney has lapped nearly half of the field in just 27 laps. Their contact with Christopher Bell. Up the track we go, nearly into the outside wall. We hold on to it there and hold on to P20 as we approach this final lap of the stage at this point. Ryan Blaney leading the way down the back straightaway into 3 and 4, so at least we are going to maintain a lead lap position here, but just not the first stage we're looking for here. Running in 19th place, we cross the line now to officially start our final lap, but of course it's going to end as soon as 10th place crosses the line. Ryan Blaney has already won this opening stage here from Dover as we try to get closer to Christopher Bell, just knowing though there's not enough time to actually get to him and make a pass, as the caution is going to come out there as 10th place crosses. So P19 is what we're going to get here in stage 1. Look at some notables there. Martin Truex Jr. down in 17th place, Kurt Busch in 21st. 23rd on back is all a lap down. Ryan Newman is going to get the lucky dog, but you see some split pit strategy here. Some drivers electing to stay out, some coming in. Ryan Blaney, the leader, decides to come in. I come in as well, put 4 tires on the car. Feel we need some kind of advantage here if we want to get anything today as we get stage 2 underway. Hamlin leads the way, but it is time to get amped here from Dover. Let's turn up the volume. There you have the amp segment here from Dover. Now as we run in 18th place, Eric Jones leads the way here, currently on lap 3 of 27. And with a few less laps here in this stage, it actually makes it very, very borderline on if we can make it on field or not here in this second stage. So I was getting ready for that, for a potential pit stop. What I wasn't getting ready for was knocking down the outside wall once again and picking up some damage on the car. Now, on the original pit stop I made, I actually tightened up the car quite a bit, and I feel like we might regret that here now and might have to loosen it up. But you see the caution comes out again, and once again, split strategy. All the cars that did pit can stay out, and all the cars that did not pit can actually come in. But this caution would guarantee everybody being able to make it to the end of the second stage. But I did pit again. I put 4 tires on, filled it up with fuel, repaired the damage here. Felt like at this point we had nothing to lose. We couldn't really lose much track position compared to where we already were, because there's so many cars a lap down. So if we're 18th place and we give up 4 spots because we pit, it really doesn't make a difference, and we might be able to make a bit more of a gain in the long run here on this second stage. And while it didn't take long for me to screw up there and hit the outside wall again on the exit of turn 2 on just the restart of this race, Kyle Larson 3 wide in the middle between his good friend of Christopher Bell, and then he's got Cole Custer in that 41 machine on the outside. Ryan Newman at my inside here. I didn't quite know where I wanted to go at this point. Maybe just kind of try to stay patient while I let these guys all sort it out here. Another apron clip right there though on the exit of turn 2. That's just kind of a common thing at this point as we actually get past the 48 of Alex Bowman. So we're starting to move our way forward again. We have some tire advantages over here against some of these guys that we're battling, like Cole Custer and whatnot. We're going to be up the inside of that 41 machine here as we head down into turn 1, but there's already less than 10 laps to go in this stage. Ryan Blaney leads the way once again. Blaney certainly proving that he's got a fast car. He won stage 1, and it seems like once the run starts to get lengthier, it's really where his car is shining, because we've seen Eric Jones actually take the lead on the majority of the short runs so far in this race now as we pass Austin Cindric. So up at a P17, Bowman would actually get back past myself here on the inside, so down into 18th place we go down this back straightaway. Bowman having a bit of a rough day here again in Dover now as Blaney trying to come through to the final handful of laps as the caution is going to come out again. We've had a lot of cautions here today in Dover, and again, split strategy. It's been split strategy this whole way. Blaney's going to give up the stage when to pit. I'm going to pit as well because we're only going to run about 3 laps under green flag conditions. So what I'm going to do is actually just ride around this track and save my tires as much as I can, and then stay out at the end of the stage and hopefully get close to a top 10 position and just see if we can maybe hold on with some strong track position on our side. Of course, that could certainly be a bit of a difficult task for myself here, but you can definitely hope for the best, obviously, here. But the car, it just hasn't been driving good enough. But you would see, I backed the pace down immediately here. We come straight to the final lap of the stage. Eric Jones leading the way through turn 3 and 4, but it's going to be Hamlin who steals the lead from him coming to the line. So Hamlin actually wins stage 2. We're going to get P24. Not concerned about that whatsoever. That was the plan as soon as we went green flag racing. So I'm going to stay out here along with everybody else that just pitted, and hopefully this track position brings us into the mix. It brings us in to P11, not even inside the top 10. One of the disadvantages here for this restart is, well, we're the first car on old tires compared to the guys that are right behind us that can just probably blow my doors off here. So we're about to see how well we hold on as this third and final stage. The 38 laps is underway, down into 1 and 2 for this opening lap here, and just hoping for the best possible outcome here. I didn't know what to expect when we went down this back straightaway into turn 3, if this car was just gonna grip up or if it was gonna slide, and we're about to find out here into turn 3. And well, there you see it, we slide up the track, and here goes the 43 Jones, a little bit of contact maybe, and now nearly into the side. We do get into the side of the 37 of Ryan Preece here, and we are just a sitting duck at this point here. 3 wide in the middle. Our teammate Tyler Reddick gets past Austin Dillon, our other teammate, just behind us here as we exit turn 2. Hamlin to the outside. We're 3 wide with him and Ryan Preece. Preece backs out of it, says, I don't want anything to do with that mess right now. But into turn 3, I'm just having a tough time to get that car slowed up enough to be able to hit that apex. It's just the car just wasn't good today, and you can see we're paying the price. We're already back down to where we began earlier in this race with 36 laps to go into 19th place, and I just couldn't believe it. This car is just not there today, and we need a long run to be able to make any difference. And once again, kind of like Darlington, we're not getting those long runs that we need. We saw a lot of cautions last episode in the Southern 500, and we're seeing a lot of cautions here today in Dover. Finally, I want some green flag racing, but we can't get it here, unfortunately, now as we're battling alongside that 17 of Chris Buescher here. But coming to 26 laps to go, the car was already starting to kind of go back towards my advantage here. So we were starting to make some headway, passing that number 33 of Austin Cindric. Kyle Larson having a bit of a rough day at one of his best tracks on the schedule there in that number 5. Still winless is Kyle Larson, which is so surprising, and we consistently, though, do talk about Kyle Larson. Although he's winless, he is the best driver in the point standings without a win. So it's not like Kyle Larson's having a bad season by any means here in his NASCAR Cup Series comeback now, as we were 3 wide with him and his former teammate of Kurt Busch. A little bit of contact there actually with that number 1 of Kurt Busch. Kind of leaned on his door a little bit here, but here comes Christopher Bell up the inside into turn 3. He's going to pass this actually in that Stanley Tools number 20, and then the caution is going to come out again here with 20 laps to go in this race. We only had 3 laps to field. We were getting ready for a pit stop, but obviously you guys know the drill at this point. I would come in for 4 tires. I wasn't expecting the AI to take 4 tires, and that would be the case. They all took 2 tires, so we lost 8 spots, but at this point I really didn't care too much here because we need some sort of legitimate advantage if we want to make a difference here. So we give up the 8 positions in hopes that that is going to be the difference that we need. Down in 26th place, but I had hope. So Ryan Blaney, though, we got to pay attention to him. What a strong race it has been for Ryan Blaney, but again, he doesn't have the lead on the restart. It's Eric Jones who has the lead on the restart. Blaney, where they've been really losing, is on the short runs and on the pit lane. We'll see if they can have enough laps here, though, to make their way to the lead now, as Hamlin's actually going to take the lead away from Eric Jones pretty quickly as I pass my Alliance teammate car of Daniel Suarez up at P25, and I would jump down to this inside. I knew we could get on the attack mode and pass Mike McDowell, Matt DiBenedetto, Austin Cindric, etc., because these should be easy passes for me to make with these 4 fresh tire advantage compared to their 2 tires. We get past Cindric, we look up the inside of that 21 of Matt DiBenedetto, and closing in on a top 20 position. We are very, very quickly here now, as we are easily going to cruise on past that 37 of Ryan Preece and the 6 of Ryan Newman as well here. But we were running out of time. Ryan Blaney did get to the lead, so things are looking pretty good for him at this point. These closing moments of this race, approaching the final 10 laps to come straight through to lap 94. We got back up to P18, P17, passing Keselowski, who's had a big fall off here on these closing stages. The fight wasn't over, though, with Keselowski. He was back up my inside down in turn 1 with 5 laps remaining. Ryan Blaney had driven away from everybody. He was just cruising to victory, and he would make it to the final lap of this race. We would hold out that 2 of Keselowski here as we were approaching this final lap. Byron P16 is a little bit too good for me to be able to run him down, and Ryan Blaney, for the first time this season, leads the way on this final lap through turns 3 and 4 for the final time, and it's going to be the first win of the season season for Ryan Blaney. He's going to lock himself into the playoffs here as we head down into 3 and 4 for the final times ourselves, and unfortunately, just not the day we were looking for here in the Dryden 400. Another race where I expected to run better, kind of like Martinsville, and the pace just wasn't there in the car. We crossed the line for a 17th place finish. It's our rookie season. We're in a 4-star car, not a 5-star car. We know on the most occasions we're not going to be competing for victories here, and well, that was certainly the case today. Alex Bowman actually with one heck of a rebound there for a 5th place finish. We saw him earlier in the race actually struggling quite heavily there as you see the rest of the finishing order, but I mean, certainly finishes like this are not going to benefit our situation in terms of trying to advance into the playoffs, but we are still in the playoffs. That's what's most important, but we're only about 20 points above that cut line right now, a lot less than what we were before. Going to our home race though in the next episode in Canada, so that's going to be a fun one. And as always, if you guys enjoyed, you know what to do. Canada being a road course, so I feel like is an opportunity for us to finally get another top 10 here, because we ran really well at Mid-Ohio earlier in the season, being from a road course background, being so strong at those. So hopefully we can do good there. But that does it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching and have yourselves a great day.